Amidst the vast expanse of the South China Sea lies a group of islands that have caused significant escalating tensions between two major claimants, the Philippines and China. Known as the Spratly Islands, this region is at the heart of a decades-old conflict involving several nations due to the island's strategic and economic significance. So why do these small islands matter so much? Beneath their rocky outcrops lie vast reserves of oil and natural gas, essential fishing grounds, and some of the world's busiest shipping lanes. These islands are not just about resources, they are symbols of national pride, raising the stakes in this international dispute. What are the implications for the Philippines, for China, and for the global community if tensions continue to rise? In this video, we'll explore the historical claims, the present challenges, and the possible futures of this complex conflict. The Spratly Islands, scattered across the South China Sea, are a major point of contention in geopolitical strategies. The islands are claimed by multiple countries, including China, the Philippines, Malaysia, Vietnam, Taiwan, and Brunei. Today, we'll focus on the claims of China and the Philippines, exploring the basis and history behind each. China's claim to the Spratly Islands is rooted in historical maps that date back to the Ming Dynasty. Chinese fishermen and navigators have frequented these waters for centuries, and China argues that these historical activities establish historical rights over the islands. This claim is symbolically represented by the 9-dash line, which China uses to outline its territorial claims in the South China Sea. On the other hand, the Philippines bases its claim on geographical proximity and elements of international law, particularly the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea. The Philippines argues that many of the Spratly Islands fall within its 200 nautical mile exclusive economic zone, giving it rights to the natural resources in this area. This claim was further strengthened by a 2016 ruling by a tribunal under UNCLOS, which found in favour of the Philippines against China's expansive maritime claims. Despite this ruling, the dispute continues, as China does not recognise the tribunal's decision, maintaining that its rights to the area are indisputable and predate the convention. This disagreement over historical versus legal claims sets a complex stage for the countries involved and their international partners. Understanding these historical claims is crucial, as they not only fuel the current tensions, but they also complicate the diplomatic efforts aimed at a resolution. As we delve deeper into the reasons for the ongoing dispute over the Spratly Islands, it becomes clear that the conflict is driven by a combination of natural resources, strategic significance, and national pride. These factors not only intensify the dispute but also complicate resolutions. First, let's talk about natural resources. The South China Sea, believed to be rich in untapped oil and natural gas reserves, makes the Spratly Islands particularly attractive. Countries involved in the dispute are eager to secure these resources to boost their energy security and fuel their growing economies. The allure of potential wealth from these hydrocarbon resources is a powerful motivator for maintaining or expanding territorial claims. Next is fishing rights. The South China Sea is one of the most productive fishing areas in the world, supporting the livelihoods of thousands of fishermen from coastal communities across Southeast Asia. Control over the Spratly Islands means access to abundant fishing grounds, which are crucial not just for economic reasons, but also for feeding growing populations. Another major factor is the strategic significance of the location. The Spratly Islands sit at the crossroads of major international shipping routes, through which approximately 1/3 of the world's maritime shipping passes. Control over these waters offers strategic military advantages and significant economic leverage by potentially allowing a country to control ship movements in a highly trafficked and economical crucial region. Finally, there's a matter of national pride and sovereignty. For many countries, territorial claims in the Spratly Islands are tied to national identity and historical narratives. The assertion of sovereignty over these islands is seen as a matter of national honour, and public sentiment often pressures governments to take a firm stance. These reasons underscore the complexity of the dispute. Each factor not only heightens the stakes, but also demonstrates why a simple resolution is elusive, as each claimant nation has a deep-rooted economic, strategic, and emotional investments in the outcome. As tensions in the South China Sea have escalated, the dispute over the Spratly Islands has seen a variety of confrontations and strategic manoeuvres, highlighting the intensity and potential volatility of this regional standoff. In recent years, we've witnessed several direct confrontations. Notably, naval standoffs between China and the Philippines have occurred, with both nations deploying ships to assert their claims. China has also engaged in the construction of artificial islands, turning reefs into military bases equipped with airstrips and radar facilities. These actions have not only raised alarms among the other claimant nations, but also drawn criticism from global powers. The international response to these developments has been a mix of diplomatic pressure and military presence. It's no surprise that the United States is supporting the Philippines. Although not a claimant in the dispute, dispute, the US has conducted several freedom of navigation operations to challenge what it sees as excessive maritime claims by China. These operations are intended to affirm the right of passage through what are considered international waters. Additionally, the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, which includes several claimants like the Philippines, Malaysia, and Vietnam, has repeatedly called for peaceful resolutions and adherence to international law. In 2016, a significant legal development occurred when a tribunal under the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea ruled in favor of the Philippines, invalidating China's extensive claims based on the Nine-Dash Line. Despite this, China has refused to recognize the ruling, asserting that the tribunal had no authority over the issue and continuing its activities in the disputed waters. This ongoing conflict highlights the challenges of balancing national interests, international law, and regional stability. With each claimant nation having significant stakes in the outcome and with global powers also involved, the situation in the Spratly Islands remains a critical point of tension. As the dispute over the Spratly Islands continues to simmer, several potential scenarios could unfold, influencing not only the immediate claimant nations but also broader regional and global dynamics. The first scenario is a diplomatic resolution. While this is the most peaceful solution, it requires significant compromise and collaboration among the involved parties. The claimant nations could engage in talks to negotiate boundaries and usage rights. Success in this scenario would hinge on each nation's willingness to prioritize regional stability over gains, a challenging yet not impossible achievement. Another scenario involves continued tensions without outright conflict. In this situation, countries might continue to bolster their military presence and engage in periodic standoffs, yet shy away from open warfare. This status quo scenario might involve a cycle of provocation and retaliation, kept in check by the presence of international naval forces. International mediation could also come into play, where a third-party state or coalition steps in to facilitate negotiations. This could be spearheaded by a global power or an international organization, offering a neutral ground for dialogue and potentially more robust enforcement mechanisms for any agreement reached. However, the effectiveness of such mediation would depend on the acceptance and commitment of all parties to adhere to the mediated terms. Lastly, the worst-case scenario is the escalation into military conflict. While all nations have stressed their desire to avoid war, the continued militarization and uncompromising stances could lead to a miscalculation or accidental skirmish that spirals out of control. Such a conflict could have devastating consequences, disrupting global shipping, damaging the marine environment, and destabilizing the entire Asia-Pacific region. This would be a catastrophe. As we look to the future, it's clear that the resolution to the Spratly Islands dispute will require not only diplomatic finesse, but also a commitment to peace and stability from all parties involved. The international community's role in supporting a rules-based order and encouraging constructive dialogue will be crucial in shaping the outcome of this complex territorial dispute. The challenges in resolving the Spratly Islands dispute are immense, given the deep-seated national interest, historical grievances, and strategic imperatives of the involved parties. However, the potential for peaceful resolution through diplomatic efforts remains a beacon of hope. That's it for this video, guys and girls. I hope you enjoyed and learned a bit more about the Spratly Islands dispute. I seriously hope a peaceful resolution can be found in the near future between all claimants. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe for more content, and until next time, maraming salamat dingat po.